Good morning, my powerful MVP family. Good morning to all of you who will listen to this video, who will watch the video, and subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment as you do so. Remember to click the notification bell, guys, and select all. I realized that even myself was doing the wrong thing. I just subscribed, walked away. And so I wasn't getting notifications from some of my biggest supporters. So please, when you subscribe to the channel, just take a second to just click all, and you will see where it says just click all so that you can get the notifications. If you just subscribe and walk away, you will not know when another video comes in, okay? But with all that said, today I want to talk about the urgency of mental health. The urgency of mental health. I want to talk about how we say it so much, but we cannot pour from empty cups. We cannot pour from empty cups. So I'm just saying to you again today, we must take care of our mental health. I felt compelled to do this video because of the young lady 2 days ago. She was an ex-police officer. She was going through a lot of personal things. She went abroad to her daughter. She has one daughter. She went abroad, and when she returned, she was a licensed weapons carrier. She was licensed to have a gun. When she was leaving for America, she stored it somewhere in Ocho Rios and St. Anne's there, and when she came back, obviously whatever was bothering her, whatever she was going through, they claimed she was a private person. She just wanted to deal with things on her own, in her own way. And when she returned that day, she hired a taxi, and she went and she picked up her gun, and on her way, she was in the front with the taxi driver. She asked to go to the back of the taxi. And it was when she went into the back, somebody said that, as related by the taxi driver, she said she wanted to go in the back. When she went in the back, he heard something with the gun. And when he said, hey, he said, no, I'm just checking. And the next thing he heard, the loud bang. He stopped in the middle road, called out for help because she bumped one bullet to her head. I also look at the deportation that's going on and how the turmoil that so many must be going through right now. As we said, there are some who sent money to Jamaica and there's nothing left for them here. I don't know about other countries. There are some who, when they come home and realize, one mother, she said she sent the money, and when she got home, her daughter, she lived in Canada, and when she got home, the money she sent, over $1 million Jamaican dollars. When she came home, the piece of land was bought that she asked the daughter to buy. A house was built, and the upstairs was for living, and downstairs was a business, and only come to find out that the money that was spent wasn't spent to build nothing for her, it was for the daughter. And so the heartache and the struggle and the problems, and so many are coming home, leaving a lot behind them where they were in America for many years and have built. And so it's a tough goal. I myself, I did videos, and you go back and watch those videos, and you will see where I spoke about I could have still be teaching. I still want to teach. I feel like I have a good 10 years left in me to teach. And I would like to do that, whether I start my own little school and do that, or I go back to the classroom in a different setting, because that's my passion. To teach math to children and to see them starting out struggling and to see the improvements they make. That's what I loved. But I tell you, the day when that little girl walked up to my desk and said, I should effing kill you. And it wasn't, the words from this child's mouth was harsh. But the anger that I felt was when the assistant principal walked into the room and heard the security guard was passing and heard how one kid was being, and she stopped and said, no man, every day you guys come in here and it's the same. These children have no respect. And she called for the support to come down. The AP came down along with one of the behavior techs. And they walked into the room and I was quiet. I was just there because security was there. I didn't need to do anything. I don't call them for anything unless it's necessary. So that morning when the kids were acting, I was just doing my thing and ignoring them until they could find themselves and settle down. But the AP walked in and she heard it and, oh, effing bitch, da da da. And she said nothing. She only asked me what happened, and I'm explaining to her what happened. And she ignored me and went, and so I said, well, maybe I should leave. Because if you walk in, you hear a student calling a teacher an effing bitch, then you as an administrator should at least say to the kid, no, we're not going to have that in here. There's no reason for you to speak to my teachers like this. You say nothing. I'm speaking to you. And when parts of the conversation was shocking, the behavior tech said, no, that's a threat on the teacher's life, And you're telling the behavior tech, de-escalate. So there was no consequence for these children. And so when the little girl, of course the kid felt empowered, and she came to my desk after they left, and she came and she said, I should effing kill you. And when I made a thing of it, I did my paperwork like I'm supposed to. And then I sent a letter to the entire staff in the building. And I said, every day we walk in here and we come in and we take the abuse and we take the abuse. Today my life was threatened by a student, and administration acts as if it's okay. And so everybody was coming to support. And the woman called me into her office, sent an email. She needs to speak to me in her office. So when I went up to her office, we had an acting principal. She was busy in his room trying to convince him that I cannot send a letter to the entire staff in the building. So when I went and I'm sitting there waiting, I don't see her. I said, I am summoned to a meeting, but there's no one here. I said, how disrespectful is that? And she finally came out the room and she came to me, and when she came, she brought a security officer with her. Why was he there with her? She brought him to explain to me about de-escalation and about this foolish thing that they had going on. Somebody was selling a program where, something justice, restorative justice. Restorative justice needs a lot of pieces to it in order for it to work. You cannot just walk in as an AP, take a kid out. You don't have a meeting with the social worker. You don't have a meeting with the behavior techs. You don't have a meeting with the teachers. You alone restoring justice. The person who had the injustice done to was not included in the conversation. And so she brought him in to explain to me that, she's trained for restorative justice, and she's trained, and So I said to her, why is he here? Oh, he's coming to tell you that. I said, he needs to leave. So when he left, he was saying to me, she's crazy. But I sat quietly and I waited. She left, she came back. She said to me, when I came in the room, you were arguing with the student. I said, you heard my mouth? I said, you walked in the room, I was quiet. You asked me what happened. And that's when I began to speak. She says, no. When she walked in, when she got the behavior tech, brought in the behavior tech, she asked the behavior tech, when we walk in the room, wasn't Mr. Simon Black talking? She says, no, you ask her what happened, and then I heard her started talking. So she said, why didn't you come to me? I said, why should I come to you? I said, why should I come to you? I said, you are here as my supervisor. You are the assistant principal. And considering that we have an acting principal, you were the one who was supposed to be making sure that we get supported. So we ended that meeting with me feeling so angry. Guys, I was so angry. Listen, I thought I was going to I was going to die. Because the anger from the district who, with all the monies that have been dispersed for the special ed department and the resources the children need to get, and these children coming in with all these emotional problems, and they're supposed to get an adult support with them, and nothing. In the 6th grade we had one person for 60-something kids, one person they had there. They don't provide the support we needed, and that was ripping me apart. You know what helped me? What helped me was me going, when I went to my doctor and he gave me time off, and I went into therapy. I had to go into therapy because this thing was killing me. When I reached out to my children and I was telling them, I said today, I think I would have gone, like, this child come up to my desk and threatened to kill me. And I'm sure that if I couldn't manage the kid, I was going to take up a chair and beat her down. And my son quietly said to me, Mommy, you might be there saying you would pick up a chair if you couldn't manage her. But what if when she walked up to your desk, she had a weapon and hurt you right then and there? What chair were you going to pick up to defend yourself? He said, Mommy, we need you to come home. We need you to come home safely in the night. We need you, your grandchildren need you. And my God, those words brought me to reality. And understand that these children, the way they are today, they'll stop at nothing. They feel so empowered. They have their little backatives. They have their little, what we call them? They're the cheerleaders. And they'll do anything to impress them. So you cannot take these children for granted anymore. You can't take them and say, oh, you're just joking. Why would you say something like that when you don't mean it? Those days are gone. You can't say those words anymore. Because they're not joking. And so I went into therapy, and as I said often to you guys, whether it's on the job, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your marriage, whatever it is, even with your children, nobody can give what they don't have to give. A lot of us, things happen, and we take it, we hide it as if we went to the store and bought it and we bought too much or we didn't buy enough, and so we need to feel embarrassed. We hide things that's going on with us that we have no control over. And a lot of times we would have gotten so much more support if we had just reached out. Some of us, we are so filled with pride, and we know pride goeth before a fall. We're so filled with this pride. I'm not telling nobody my business. I don't want nobody know. Me not want. And we block so many blessings. What if somebody knows? What if they want to go talk about it? Just ask them to pray for you. Just ask them to pray for you. But in the meantime, you don't take that burden alone with you. If I hadn't stepped out of the box and gone to therapy, I probably wouldn't be here today. Because I'm telling you guys, I couldn't sleep. I was so angry at this assistant principal. I was so mad at the school district for not giving the teachers the support we need to work with these children who are so emotionally gone. I was so angry. But when I went to therapy and I spoke about it, and I would be angry again, and we had another session and I'm still angry, until like the 5th session she allowed me to vent. And I'm telling her what I would have done and how, da-da-da, and all of this. But that was from my experience, And so that evening when she said to me, Beverly, you might have handled it this way, but she doesn't have the experience you have. And she couldn't give what she didn't have. If she's not a leader, she cannot display leadership qualities. If you don't have love in you, you cannot give love to anyone. If you don't have trust in you, you can't trust anyone. People can only give what they have to give. So with all that said, I know my people are saying I talk too much, but I needed today to address this. Because that young lady, the ex-police officer who took her life, probably if she had just opened up to someone, it would have been different. Therapy doesn't mean that we have to always go to professionals. Therapy means to just find somebody who you can just let it out to. Somebody who can just listen to you. Somebody who can just listen to you. So the urgency of mental health, we cannot pour from empty cups, guys. Mental health is a necessity. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. Just as we take care of our physical health, we must prioritize our emotional and our psychological well-being as well. We dress in the nicest clothes, we buy the most expensive shoes, and we do these things, and we buy our lace wigs and our nice braids, and we fix ourselves nicely. But the emotional health, the psychological health, must also get some fine-tuning, must also get some love. Unseen struggles can be deadly. As I said, we don't go buy these things. We don't buy it, it's not in the shop. And we just say, how much for this? I'll take 2 of those. We don't buy them. They're unforeseen. And the struggles can be deadly. Too often people, we suffer in silence, carrying burdens that eventually become too heavy for us to bear. We must create spaces where seeking help is normalized, not a stigma. Look for help that is normalized. You go to church, you have pastors, a lot of people who get through this stuff. Even you have people who go to church, but they go to church, and I don't know why they go, because church is supposed to be a place for spiritual help, right? Where if you are going and you're in a congregation and you're going through things that you're afraid to share with the people that you are congregating with, tell me, how does that make sense? The people you're jumping and praying and hallelujah, thank you Jesus, and yet you're suffering in silence. How does that make sense? So we must create spaces where when we seek help, it is okay. It is a normal thing. If you need some sugar, that you can go next door and say, listen, I need a cup of sugar. You have any sugar that can give me a little? And it's okay. It's not a shame. It's okay. Trauma and burnt out are real. Whether it's a teacher threatened by a student, which is me, an officer silently battling demons, or a person facing deportation and uncertainty, stress, grief, and fear can break even the strongest among us. In my school, a lot of people, Bev, so-and-so, Beverly, so-and-so, Beverly, how do you do it? How do you do it? In the afternoons when teachers are, oh my God, I'm so sick and tired. Oh my God, I'm done. And they look at me and I say, guys, look, the kids are who they are. They're growing up. They're going through the changes. They're pre-teenagers. These are not the only kids behaving this way. And they look at me, how do you do it? How do you do it? I just appreciate them for who they are. They're trying to find themselves. So I was one of the persons where they come to, you know, many thank you cards I received from young teachers who saying thank you for coming in and helping me. Thank you for helping me see things differently. But yet when that situation happened, it knocked me off my feet. It literally knocked me off my feet. So much so that I left teaching. And this was something I love. I love it. But I just look at them from the top down and I said, you are not here. When I left my school, I'm telling you, one teacher is left in the building who was there with me. One math teacher. In the 6th grade, every teacher left. In the 8th grade, one teacher left. He was the last one on board, and he was the assistant principal's friend from another school, from the school she was coming from. He was the only one left. Every teacher in the 8th grade left. One teacher stayed in the 7th grade. One. Everybody else left. Because they saw what I was saying was true. Everybody was coming that day, hugging me, supporting me. My classroom was like full. Every time another set comes, I was getting email from white teachers, black teachers, everybody. And so it doesn't matter how strong we are, sometimes we can get broken too. Anger, stress, and emotional exhaustion demand an outlet. And an outlet is to find a counsel, a psychologist. You have some of them is just counseling. And then you have the deep ones where they might need you to have medication because you have gone through so much that you might need more than just counseling. They will have to direct you there. I just needed somebody to talk to. And so that's what I did. My doctor recommended me to somebody. He said, don't just talk to a regular person, a regular counselor. I wanted to find somebody who has the competence to talk to, a professional, a real professional. So when you think of your anger, the stress, the emotional exhaustion, when we suppress these emotions, it leads to resentment, it leads to isolation, and sometimes even to tragic outcomes. Therapy, support groups, and trusted confidants can help process pain constructively. We don't need people to laugh at us and put us down. We need people just to guide us, just to show us that we're not the only ones going through it, that it's okay. It's okay. But how can we look at it differently? No one can give what they don't have to give. I said it often in the videos I do. If we are depleted, we cannot serve, we cannot support, we cannot uplift others. Self-care is not selfish. When I step out of the classroom to make sure that I got the therapy I need, and when when are you coming back? Oh, Miss Beverly, Mrs. Salmon Black, are you gonna just go to therapy in the evening so you? No. I need time for me. I needed time for me. I said, am I getting an adult support in my classroom? Well, okay. So if you can give me an honest yes, then it means that you're not ready for me. And I'm not ready to come back into a situation where I'm working with 6 special need kids in the 4 classes that come in. And I have to sit by myself. I said, who wants to do it can do it. But I refuse because my way of teaching was different. My job as an educator was to expect the kids to try so that they can elevate themselves. My job was not to just sit back and whatever, I get my paycheck so I don't care what you do. That was never me. My job was to help my children where they were and to bring them. So I had expectations. You come to my class, come prepared to do something. You might not be able to manage everything, but it's okay. When I'm teaching, you take your notes, you do what you need to do, and then I can sit with you or I can buddy you up with somebody who can help you. But if I just sit back because none of the kids are on grade level, none of the kids, then guess what? I can't feel good when I go home. So when they come to me, yes, there's going to be pushbacks because they don't want to work. Why you do so much? Why you do so much? We go to Miss So-and-so and she doesn't care if we do the work. Then go back to Miss So-and-so because in here, you look like me and you're going to work. So it was that way. So as we go forth, guys, these are some of the things that we can do to take care of our mental health. Acknowledge when we need help. A lot of us, we pretend too much. We pretend. Hey, how is everything? Everything is good. Everything is good. And you know deep down inside of you, it's not so. We don't have to pretend. It is because of sin where we do the things we do, where we try to be who we're not. And so we suffer the consequences. Seeking therapy or support is a sign of strength, not weakness, guys. We need to stop. We're not going to talk to nobody. Sometimes marriage falling apart and we know why it's falling apart. We say, come God, come dear, let's go talk to some. I'm going to go talk about my business. The illiterate. That's how they behave. I'm not going to tell nobody my business. And you sit there and then what? Somebody kill somebody or somebody beat up somebody, end up in a jail or, It's not weakness. When you feel something and you say, dang, so-and-so, I said, girl, listen, me feeling it too, All of a sudden you realize you're not alone in it. And it gives you hope. So what you do when this happens to you, how you manage it, boy, me just, I saw somebody do, me talk to the pastor, and sometimes I know, say, but me just make it ride itself out, me just leave things alone and leave it in God's hands. Or me just, me try to talk and me try to, they tell you how they manage it. And so maybe you were a little loud and a little harsh and say, no man, you can't fight, you can't argue, because it could just make things worse. Right away you can stop and think. Speak up and advocate for change. When systems fail us, silence only enables the problem. Push for resources, policies, and support in schools, workplaces, and communities. You know what changes them have to make since me left the school? Because them realize everybody, my math director, he says, Beverly, whenever you're ready to come back, just call me. Because they knew my worth. They knew that when I went in, I was about the children. My passion was math. I get excited. I gave out scholarships to my top math persons. The last kid, little Fred, oh my God. He was from Haiti. But let me tell you something, man. That little boy, every year I give out a scholarship. It might not be a lot because in America, you know, the free books, free this. But I give out a nice little sum, I said, to help get back their stuff to go to school. So I'm telling you guys, you have to speak up. Don't speak with anger and malice, but just point out how things would be better if we got the resources we need in order for this to happen. Always lean on trusted people. A lot of us, we tend to, we buddy up with people who are disrespectful and mean-spirited, and we feel like they like to bully people and act like it's about them. A lot of us, that's the role we take. But it's the wrong role, because he that carry on and puff up themselves and feel like, I know everything, it's all about me. In little time, there shall be a base. We don't need people puffing up and trying to put people down because they think that they're more Christian than everybody and they are more everything they need to. No, I have to speak up. Yeah, we have to speak up, but it's how we do the speaking up. So let us have lean and trusted people. When we have connection, connection saves lives. Isolation only makes you feel despondent. It just pushes you down. If I'm here, Kayla is going to school, and if I'm here and I'm just here. There's no clothes to wash. I wash on Sundays. I'm not going to sweep the house every day because we clean up on Sunday. We do a big cleaning up Sunday. I'm only waiting to make dinner for Kayla and wait for Kayla to come home. So if I get up after Kayla gets ready for school, sometimes I'm sitting here and it's a little lonely. I pick up the phone, I call my daughter, she works from home. She can put me on speaker and talk with me. I said, just don't make any mistake with those numbers, you know. But you reach out to somebody, all of a sudden she'll talk to me and we'll laugh. I call my son, because they also work from home, and little Gia, hey grandma. I just love when she say grandma, you know. And so it fuels that positive, that makes me feel great again. So when you suffer silently, it only fuels despair. When you stay in your corner, despair. Practice your self-care daily. Do you rest? Do you exercise? Do your meditation? Or even setting boundaries that can protect your mental health. What I do, last night Kayla went away for the weekend. Kayla came back and we got some things because her hair is a hot mess. They didn't bother to wrap it up so it's nice and neat. And I'm looking like I am just supporting. And then she goes to and she comes back and I'm like, ugh. So I got the lady, she's coming tomorrow to come get Kayla's hair done. And maybe mine as well. And so in the evening, before she went to bed, I put on, you know what it was? A soca. Byron Lee and the Dragoneers. Soca love songs medley. Guys, there are no cuss words. It is beautiful, clean music. And you just dance to it, and we dance, and we sweat, and we dance, and we dance so much. You should see Kayla. And we dance, and she say, hey, grandma, I see you. And I say, hey, Kayla, I see you. And we just dance, and we go down, and we come up, and we dance, and we dance, and we dance. And we dance so much. And then after that, they have one, Singing Francine Part 2, another soca medley. Just love songs. And you just sing with those love songs, and you just, whatever, anything, whatever, it just goes. I have a 5 hours worth of strictly night. You remember them night at Jamaica when I was young and granny them, and them sing all night and them sing all night, and Kukudu and different artists are on it 5 hours. And if you don't dance and give thanks to God and sing along, then something wrong with you. I use those things to uplift me. I do my exercise. I walk back and forth 20 times. Because some of you say, I can't go out there to walk. I can't go out. But you live somewhere with long hallways. This is an open concept space. So from the front door to the back door, I do 20 laps. They have on the thing that when you go onto YouTube, they have the chair exercises where you sit and do your leg lifts, do your leg slides, do your cross legs, do the arms, listen, there's no reason for us to sit and to not find ways to uplift ourselves. We can meditate, right? We can do these things. But one of the things that we have to stop doing is to stop blaming ourselves for things. Understand that what happens to man happens to many. So this is not about just you. You're the only one going through this. That's why you don't need to keep things and pretend. Because there's no shame. Recognize the warning signs in others. So if you are around others, guys, and you just do a simple check-in. Just do a check-in. A kind word or an offer of support can make all the difference. I tell her the story with Bev Brown Life with Bev Brown. Go over and support her channel. She's working on her watch time so she can become monetized. It's not easy. The watch hours are the hardest. But guys, I remembered seeing Bev Brown and she laughed. She said, Miss Bev, you're right. During those times, I just want to jump through the window. During those times, they were hard for me. Because you're sitting and you're among family, but nobody sees you. You're just alone. And she would do some videos and she just there. And I reach out to her and said, Bev Brown, get up. Go outside. Take your camera with you. Go look at the fruit trees. Do a video with the fruit trees. Go look at the plants for healing out there that you use to boil tea and drink. Go show them to YouTube. I said, go out, man, go out. My God, she said, Miss Bev, that's what gave me hope. I was hopeless. And she started going out on the road and talking about her custard apple tree, her guinea tree, her district. And it started building. This was years, and Bev Brown and I still, So reach out to somebody. Check in with them. Give a kind word or an offer of support. And we'll see how that sometimes make a big difference. Mental health is not optional. It is foundational. We cannot be nice and skinny, have a nice shape and nice head of hair and brown skin, because I guess being black is a sin. So we need to bleach out and we need to be brown skinned, and even, I don't know how people don't see how they look weird when they burn out their skin like that. But that's what they want to do, and you definitely see that there's some mental health issues right there. For you not to be able to embrace who you are. I'm a big girl. I'm going to do a video on this dress. You see me today in red, the powerful red, my favorite color. And yes, this is a long video, but I will show you, because I watched Margaret Smith talks, and I heard her, and it was just strange, because yesterday I went and picked up my box with my 10 beautiful dresses, and I want to tell you a story about them. I want to tell a story about them. And so, today I'm wearing the red one. That fits perfectly. I got my mama's arms. I am my mother's child. I am my mother's child. I am Granny's child. Also, okay, Granny had meat on her bones. My mama has had a lot of meat on her bones. And I'm the one who got it. I am the one who got it, regardless of the situations, my surgery on my knee and all of that that helped me balloon like this. But it just seemed like that's what it's supposed to be. I am my mom's child. I got her smile, I got her body, I am my mom's child. But you know, getting this, my cousin came down. When I decided to give her husband passed away and she's up there, and I decided, I'm not rich, we're both retired, but I said, come, I'm here in Jamaica, I'm in my own space here, come. And she came down, and my God, the plants are in the back. I'm going to show you some beautiful things going on with those plants as well. And it was just a short stay, but a beautiful stay. And she came down with just a backpack on her back, traveling light. But my people, when I mentioned to her that I brought these 10 pieces of material from how long I had them in Connecticut, and we sold the house, and I'm packing things to pack things to come to Jamaica, and I shipped the 10 pieces. I still have some other pieces which are gabardine, but these are all linen. And I bought them, and I did some prior when I came down to to do the Airbnb. We stayed in the Airbnbs, and we heard about somebody in Montego Bay. We took them there. Wasn't happy with it at all. Wasn't happy. She made 5 dresses for me. Hate them. The pockets, ridiculous. The stitchings, I told her I want simple cuts. I don't want fancy. I'm not fancy at all. I'm a simple girl. And didn't like it, but I still shipped down these, and I said, oh, hopefully I could find somebody else. Heard of one person, but I said, I don't want to go there. And then Miss Ruby, I was telling her about, she says, my cousin, I will bring them up for you. If you have something to pack them in, I will bring them. I said, I don't want to put you through all of this. She said, my cousin, I said, I will bring them. If you have hand luggage, I said, do. We pulled out the hand luggage, and she folded up all these 10 pieces of material, all of them 5 yards, and she folded them, and she left with them. And she went home, and a day later, she was in Mount Vernon. She lives in Co-op City. She was in Mount Vernon at not a seamstress, he's a tailor in a tailor shop. And we talk about prices and what have you, and she up there negotiating for me. I said, no, it's okay. And he said, she's retired, so you have to, but the price was reasonable as well. And I sent the funds off. She paid down on it. And I sent the funds. I tell her, send the shipping information, because there's a shipping place I use here in Jamaica. I said, once they're finished, she just said, my cousin, you don't have to worry. As soon as he finishes, I'll pick them up. I will box them up for you, and I'll send them. Guys, to the time, it's less than a month that when at first he said next week, but he had something to do. So the week we should get them, it had to go over into the next week. And she went and she got them the Monday, put them in the thing that Monday, last week Monday. And she shipped it down, and it got into Miami, Miami. Is it Miami or Fort Lauderdale? It got down there to the shipping company. And yesterday, on Friday, I got the email, your package is ready for pickup. Cost me, those 10 dresses shipped down to Jamaica, cost me 4,900 Jamaican dollars to clear it. So who could it be but God himself? So I'm going to give you an idea. I'm going to show you the colors. And today I said, because I'm talking about mental health, I said, let me wear something red and powerful. And know that, guys, you have it in you. You have it in you. Don't blame yourself for things. Because life happens. Life happens. You fall in love with the wrong person, it didn't work out. Brush yourself off and keep going. If you choose to stay single and don't be bothered, brush yourself off and keep going. There's no shame in it. There's no shame in it. Love yourself. If you don't have it to give, you can't give it to anyone else. Make it a great day by choice. Again, my son, thank you so much.